the show where we deep dive into critical issues that impact our world. I'm your host, Adyan Abi, and this is Hassan. And today we have a very important topic on the table, climate change. It's one of the most pressing challenges of our time, and we are here to discuss not only the problem, but also its solutions.
Joining us today is Shakila Wakil, an expert artist with a passion for addressing climate change. Shakila Wakil has dedicated their life to finding solutions to the environmental crisis and has some valuable insights to share. Welcome, Shakila.
Um, Ms. Shakila, in your point of view, what's the impact of burning fossil fuels on the environment?
Well, there's a lot of impact because fossil fuel, due to the production of carbon dioxide, it do damages the ozone layer, and this erosion of ozone layer creates its own problem for the whole earth, not for just one section.
Okay, very well explained, Shakila. Now, let's get to another topic of deforestation. You know that climate change also affects deforestation. So, can you elaborate more on deforestation as well?
Well, this situation is highly drastic because of some multinational companies. Whole forests are being eradicated, and we need to plant more plants as much as possible around us all over the world.
Okay, now we are sure that deforestation and burning of fossil fuels have a really bad impact on the environment. What's the impact of industrial processes? Is it of any good or is it of any bad?
Well, it is actually very bad for the nature, for the earth, and these industries, they should pay attention, they should put more efforts in creating natural environment, natural habitat for the animals who are being pushed away from their natural environment. We must take care of our world before it exhausts.
True. And you know that because of these, like because of deforestation, because of for burning of fossil fuels, there's also a rise in the global temperatures.
Yes, of course. And because of this rise in global temperature, such as just yesterday I learned from a friend that 80 years ago, the temperature which is 14 C in Russia nowadays, it was about 80 years back, it was this high. Usually the temperature hits to zero or below.
Oh,
These days, more frequent and severe heat waves happen. So, what do you think
Yes.
about it?
Yes, the heat wave is really something highly dramatic, and the one that hit Karachi in 2015 was a killer. Believe me, it was a
yeah,
killer.
I've heard that many people were killed because of this.
Yes, there were 2,500 people reported died, but there were so many who have died at home without leaving any record behind. So the death rates can be high.
And they don't even have any resources, just like
Yes,
AC,
of
air
course.
conditioners, to like,
Because of inflation and the rise in cost of living, people are unable to afford many luxuries to sustain themselves or to how to deal with this climate change.
I remember some good people were in distributing water and
Yes.
in Karachi.
Yeah.
Yes. Even these Shadi owners, they provided their air conditioned halls for the passers-by who are
not only to humans, it's also
It also
impacting to
affects,
other
yes,
other
wildlife.
habitats as well. Just like any other predators, because mostly preys on fishes to many predators.
Yes, yes.
So if they're gone, then they won't have anything to
The
eat.
ecosystem will be
Yes,
affected.
the ecosystem would be disturbed.
Because of climate change, there are a lot of increasing weather events, including hurricanes,
Yes,
droughts, and wildfires. And recently in Pakistan, there was a flood.
yes. In Pakistan, in my life, the first urban flood that I experienced in Karachi, that was in 2017, and it was terrible. It was terrible, and now we are nearly afraid to go out in the monsoon season
And
because of
because
the
of
weather.
these floods, it also affects the crop that the people grow.
Of course, yes. But the crop, well, there are some benefits of having some floods, such as in Egypt. The Nile is the only river, and when it is flooded for 6 months, when it recedes, the water recedes, it's leave a very fertile sand over the land, so the crop is wonderful.
Okay.
I personally think that flood has a lot of positive,
Yes,
but it even has a lot of negative
lot of negative. When the
consequences.
crop is wiped out, of
Yeah.
course, it is negative.
Even the housing societies, there are multiple housing societies which get damaged because of this. Even there's a wider impact on the biodiversity, and there are many species which struggle to adapt the new environment because of this.
Yes, of course, because if you study the theory of evolution, you must have studied that animals try to adopt a new condition, new situation. Yes. So now I think, have you noticed that now these crows, previously crows used to create a lot of problems when they feel threatened or any of their tribal member if they are injured in something. But now crows are not paying much attention to the dead bodies of their tribes mates.
There are also many impacts on the vulnerable community, right?
Yes.
And do you know more about the destruction of natural habitats and ecosystems?
Yes, of course. One of my friends in India, she's world renowned. She's an expert on tigers. I used to follow her programs and her research. Now in India, the most drastic situation is that the habitat of tiger is disturbed. So the tigers now they are moving towards towards the area where the peoples are living. So every now and then they are killing human beings. So the loss is really huge. The loss is huge.
Very true, very true. Right? Now can we go to the let's talk about another thing, which is like because of these there are like very water loss.
Well, fresh water is believed to be a highly prized commodity, and let me tell you that the Third World War, we are going to have it will be a war for fresh water.
True, true, because I've heard that 97% of the world's water is salty water,
Yes.
2% of it is covered in ice, and then the 1% of it is fresh water. So I do think that we might have a very big conflict or a very big controversy and even conflict on fresh water as
Fresh
well.
water, yes.
These days, we also have a lot of threats to the public health.
Oh yes, of course, because when you have a lot of polluted air, and maybe you have noticed that, or it can be in archives, that during COVID, when there were not many cars on the road, the air became cleaner, and the distant mountain ranges were visible after a lot of years. So of course, the climate change and of course the polluted air, it's making people sick and these mobile towers here and there. So these can be the reason of increase in cancer.
Okay. Like as you know that we use oil, coal, other types of fossil fuels. Can we switch to wind energy or solar power energy?
We must try to find some alternate solution for the energy, such as now I'm very happy that our school has installed these solar panels. So believe me, previously I used to be terrified when there was electricity failure. Children used to get heat stroke
that our government should also play a very vital role in this climate change impact. They should plant trees, they should practice more sustainable farming, sustainable fishing to absorb, and they should also do something to absorb the carbon from the air. You know that while planting trees, the trees absorb carbon dioxide from the air and they also produce oxygen from the air, which is like very important for us as we breathe oxygen. So what are your thoughts on government? What should government do?
Well, in my opinion, we have to take responsibility as a public as well, not just government. What we can do, we all are having fruits nowadays. We all
Yes.
are. Why don't we save the seed and make a seed pot by just covering it in some clay and keeping these seed pots with us whenever we go out somewhere, we can drop these seed pot so that after the rain we can have our own small forest. Maybe we waste a lot of these mango seeds. We can plant them here and there.
We should encourage this happening.
Yes, we must encourage that. I don't know why we are buying new and new products every day. Previously, our elders, they used to make a lot of things out of old material. We must do that.
No, while we were talking about water loss, Singapore has a very good idea. They had struck a very good idea about switching to fresh water to salty water.
Yes.
There are many scientists who have tested you can say the salty water.
Yes, you
Like, it's like 1,000, 50,000, 150,000 times, and it's like crystal clean. And because you know that Singapore doesn't have enough water,
Yes.
it's covered with salty water, and it needs to, it needs to get enough water for the people to survive there. So like, it's a really vital thing that the government is doing for those citizens.
Desalination of the seawater and make it usable for the human beings and for the animals as well. It's a brilliant idea, and I don't think the cost is so high.
Yes.
We can have our own desalination plant. I think we have one as well. But
Yeah, we should also educate people about climate change and other sustainable living as well, right?
yes, we must make knowledge to the common man that how wastewater and how valuable it is.
We should also, through the UN, you might know what the UN is, that we should also address climate change through international cooperation. I've heard that all the countries, they made an agreement on, there's a like CO3, maybe CO3 as well. I don't know the name, but they made, because of the ozone layer, in 1983 there was a very tremendous impact on the ozone layer. So all the countries, the UN called up all the countries, and they promised to stop using, to impose a ban on those hazardous gas. And now, if you see the result, it's awesome.
Well, let me tell you one thing that during COVID, these scientists they noticed that the ozone layer started to repair. The hole actually,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
ozone layer has a hole in the atmosphere, but it was repaired slightly when there was less vehicle in the road. So the hope is there. Believe me, if we stand as a community, not as an individual, we can make huge difference.
I would like to add that we should switch to sustainable transport such as electric cars,
Electric based.
Yes, as you
solar powered vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah, as you talk about about the transport, I'm really glad that this time they have made a very electric car. They have made an electric car which is very beneficial to the environment, and even it's beneficial for the environment and the people itself. We should also protect forests and oceans,
Of course we must.
right? From the rising water temperatures as we discussed, right? And lastly, we should stop burning trash to improve the environment quality for humanity,
Of course.
animal, and
For
plants.
our own future.
Exactly.
Exactly, yes. Thank you, Shakira.
Thank
It
you.
was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
It was an amazing time having you at our podcast.
Thank you.